Alright guys, so coming in at my number 5 is the movie 1BR. It's on Netflix. It's about a woman who's new to LA. She moves into a seemingly perfect apartment complex and soon finds out there are consequences for breaking the rules. So this movie I've been wanting to watch for a few months now, and we've just not gotten around to watching it, so I took it upon myself to go watch it. And it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't a great movie either. But what I did like about this is, to me, you don't really see movies like this, and it just like has a twist on it, because when she goes to look for the apartment, she sees a few things that are kind of weird about it, but she doesn't really think about it too much and just apply. She was hesitant at first to apply because she didn't think she would get it, because there were like 10, 20 other people inside applying as well. But they told her to take a look anyways, because you'll never know if you'll get it or not, and come to find out, she gets it. But yeah, the consequences are insane. Like, yeah, you would never have thought what this movie would have turned into. So yeah, that's 1BR on Netflix.
All right, coming in at number 5 for me is going to be I May Destroy You. It's a series on HBO Max, and yeah, it's really good. It's actually one I've been looking to watch for a long time. Not too long, but I just for some reason haven't watched it, but I finally decided to. It's only one season, but it's really good. It looks like it's a comedy drama, but there's very little comedy to me in this one compared to drama. So what this is about is basically this young girl, she gets like raped, and yeah, and from that point she has to like basically reassess everything, because she kind of doesn't remember that night fully, but then yeah, she just has to reassess everything from, you know, her friends and who's really on her side, who's that. But so she's not the only person that deals with, like, you know, sexual harassment and rape and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not really much comedy in my opinion, but I guess there is some parts, but it to me it is more serious, especially those scenes, because some of these scenes are crazy. Overall though, I think it was a good show. I like the acting, and I just think the story was done pretty well, and it just kept you interested in stuff. But yeah, I think it's a British show, or at least the people are British in the show. But yeah, I think it was really good. But yeah, that's gonna be I May Destroy You on HBO Max.
Alright, so number 4 on my list is called Sing On. It's on Netflix. It's a singing show. It's not like American Idol or anything like that, or X Factor. It's kind of its own thing. It has a twist to it. So they're only like about 45 minutes long, maybe 30 minutes, I can't remember. But you have 6 contestants, and each show has a playlist. So it could be just country music that episode, or the top 100, or hip hop or something like that, oldies. So they come in and they have to do a playlist. So through the whole song, each contestant gets to sing a part of the song, and they have a microphone, and the microphone will analyze how well they're hitting the notes, and it'll give them a percentage. Like, they were 86% on whatever, on point. At the end of each round, one contestant is safe, and that is the person who gets the highest percentage. So the person with the lowest score does not get voted out. Everybody on the stage who is singing of the contestants has to vote who they want to kick out, whether it be because they didn't do well or because they're competition. So if you're kind of into those kind of shows, like, not, I wouldn't say reality shows, but like singing shows, challenges, or anything of that nature, this would probably be the show for you, because I didn't think I would be too into it, but I gave it a try. I gave it a chance, and I actually really liked it. So even if you don't think you would be into that kind of show, just give it a shot and tell me what you think.
All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be #Alive. It's on Netflix. It's a movie. It's a Korean zombie film. So if you don't speak Korean, you know, the words aren't going to match up with their mouth. But there's obviously an English version. But yeah, it's really good. I'm a sucker when it comes to zombie films, zombie anything, zombie TV shows, zombie films. And this one was just done really well. It's pretty much placed in one setting the whole time, but it doesn't get boring or it doesn't feel slow. It still keeps you engaged, and yeah, basically what it is, it's a zombie apocalypse type thing. And yeah, they're like in this apartment complex pretty much the whole time. I like the way they showed how the zombies, or the people, become zombies. Like, I just thought the way they shot it and the way they did the effects and stuff, it looks really good. The acting again was good. Yeah, and I like the relationship the 2 main characters had. Well, really 1 main character for like the first quarter of the movie, or maybe even probably a quarter of the movie, and then you get introduced to a second character. But yeah, overall it was really good. And again, for me, I just really like zombies, so it's kind of easy for me to like it. But yeah, that's hashtag Alive on Netflix.
Coming in at my number 3 is the movie Unpregnant. It's on HBO Max. I'm not going to get too much into it because we did put a review out for this movie. We'll link it up here, and then we'll link in the description box down below. So you can check it out after this video, or if you want to detour over there and come back, you can. But basically, this girl, a teenager in high school, she takes a road trip across a few states with her ex-best friend, I guess you can say, or ex-friend. They were best friends, and then they weren't talking, and then this kind of brought them closer. So they head over there to a clinic so she could get an abortion because her state didn't allow that. So they go through ups and downs to the road trip, and kind of brings them closer. So don't forget to check out our review on that. It'll be linked down below.
All right, coming in number 3 is gonna be Woke. It's a new TV series on Hulu, and it's a comedy. And it's it's a comedy, but it's also has like, it's very timely, I will say that, with everything that's going on with African American people. And yeah, it takes a comedy twist, but there's still the seriousness in there of like, this really happens, but we're gonna make it funny and entertaining. But yeah, the show was basically about a guy named Keith. He's African American, and he's a cartoonist, and he's really successful, he's about to become like really successful in it. But then something happens that changes his life, changes his perspective on things, because he just, I don't know, it just didn't really occur to him that maybe this could happen, or he didn't think it could ever happen to him because he's a certain way. And I don't know. So basically what happens, he just gets tackled by the police, and, you know, they're being extra rough with him. Yeah, and then his white friend comes to help him, and, you know, he's screaming basically to like, stop, because he's thinking the worst. He's, you know, they got guns on him and stuff, obviously. But everything was good with his white friend. And then he ended up not being the guy they were looking for, and they just picked him up, and basically everyone went on with their day. But he was kind of traumatized by the situation and kind of woke up to, you know, what's going on and stuff like that. There's a lot of different moments in this show. But anyways, the show takes a little turn when it after that part where he starts running into all these different products or like things in life that become like cartoons and start talking to him. That's kind of when he starts struggling with like identity, not struggling with identity, but just becoming more aware of identity, I guess, and culture, right and wrong, and these like different products are like talking to him and trying to like put ideas into his head and stuff. And he's just like I said before, he was kind of acting like he was very not woke, I guess you can say, because he was kind of pretending things didn't really exist or they weren't as bad as they were, because again, he didn't really experience it. But then once he did experience some type of injustice or, you know, something, it's really messing with him. And that's kind of what you get throughout the show. And that's not the only thing that he experiences. He also experiences, there's one part where he gets his skin lightened by like a publisher or something. And that obviously doesn't make any sense, you know, and it kind of goes to like people being too black or too dark, and, you know, people wanted to lighten them up for whatever reason, when really that's just dumb, obviously. And that's kind of what he experienced, and he realized like there's actual issues. And now he's finally experiencing these things that he didn't really seem to think was like a really big issue. But yeah, overall though, even with all that like seriousness, like even though there's like serious topics within the show, it's still a really funny show, especially like the main character's friends and stuff. Yeah, it's just funny. Like overall, it's really good. If you're into shows that are funny but also have like some type of serious topics like underneath it, I mean, this is perfect. And yeah, so for me, I can't wait for season 2. I wouldn't say it's an incredible, amazing show, but it's still a really good show, and I recommend watching it. But that's going to be Woke, and that's on Hulu.
So next on my list at number 2 is the show Close Enough. It is an animated sitcom. You could really tell the correlation between the regular show and this show, Close Enough. It does have the same program creator, but amongst the two. So yeah, if you're really into animated shows for mature audiences, I guess you could say, this is the show for you. Or even if you liked the regular show, I think this would still be up your alley.
All right, coming in number 2 for me is going to be Ted Lasso on Apple TV+. This show is really good. I don't know why. It's a show that for me that just like, it's just like a feel-good show. I don't know why. So basically what the show's about is this coach that has no experience in coaching soccer. He gets a job, and basically what he has to do is not only get the team to perform, because they're not very good, they have like a star player, but he's not a team player, so they're not performing well, but the owner is kind of sabotaging him in every way, trying to at least. But for me, like the best part about the show is that it has its real funny moments. But like I said, it's just, I don't know, it's just like a feel-good show. I just enjoy watching it. It's one of those shows that I can just put on and kind of just let it play in the background, but also I can watch it and really be into it at the same time. So it's just one of those shows where it's kind of perfect for everything. The thing about it though is it's not even fully out. Like there's still one episode left that I haven't seen, but there's no way I'm waiting a whole month to review this and put this in my top 5, so I'm just putting it in now. But yeah, it's really good. Like I said, it's really funny, and it's again, it's a feel-good show. It keeps you interested. This show makes you have some type of emotional attachment to some of the characters, especially with what they go through or their reasonings for this or for that they do things. And especially for Ted Lasso, which is played by Jason Sudeikis, it's like, you know, you just feel for him. And he's funny and he's like an idiot at the same time. So it's just really good overall. But yeah, that's Ted Lasso, Apple TV Plus. Let's get into the number 1.
So coming in at number 1 on my list is I'll Be Gone in the Dark. It's on HBO Max. This follows the woman who was obsessed with the Golden State Killer case, and she began writing a book about him and everything that he has done throughout the years. So with the book, she is trying to put everything together to find who did it. And she goes through in a very extensive search and gets so close to finding who he is until she gets to the point of dying. So she died before she got to finish writing the book, and obviously before they found the killer. So the two people she sought help in while she was writing the book came together and kind of went through her research and through her drafts and still used some of her work that she had with revisions, obviously, and wrote parts that were missing of the book. So they came together to finish it in her honor, I guess you could say. So I really enjoyed this film because, for one, I like documentaries, and 2, this is right up my alley. So I binged watched it by like so many episodes. Like there's not that many episodes, but I would watch like 2 or 3 a night, and I would stay up super late watching them as well. I will say though, this is kind of graphic, not by visuals, even though they show little pictures of what he had done. So this is graphic in the verbal context with how they speak and what they just talk about of him being a rapist and sexually abusing women until he got to the point of murdering the husband and wife. So if that's kind of a sensitive subject or topic for you, I wouldn't go ahead and watch this. But if you're into crime and are unfazed of topics like that, then you should go ahead and check this out on HBO Max.
All right, my number 1 for September is going to be Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. This show, I loved every second of it. It's one of those shows where I'm not the biggest binge type person, and if you guys have been around before, you guys probably know that. But this show, I could binge, and it's only 1 season, but I mean, you know, I could watch the whole season in a very short time. But yeah, it's just really good. I enjoyed everything about it, and like, you know, Kerry Washington's in it. Like that's the one thing. The acting was really good. Kerry Washington was in it. She did really good. Reese Witherspoon, really good. And they have kids, and all the kids were good as well. So basically what it's about is this lady and her kid. So Kerry Washington and her kid, they're looking for a place to live, and they constantly move around. And she's an artist, the mom. And so that's like her reasoning for moving around a lot. And anyways, they find this place. I don't think they could afford it at first or something like that. But then Reese Witherspoon, the other lady, she's the one that owns the house or is trying to rent the house. And she makes like a deal with them basically. And then so they end up getting the house. And then the families just, you know, intertwine. And it kind of goes down from there because they're just having this battle of who's legit. And there's also some racial things in there where Reese Witherspoon's character is not on purpose. She's actually someone that is like a caring person, it seems like, but it's more of a subconscious thing of the way she approaches situations or how she talks or whatever. But yeah, it's just this battle like between who's a good, like, I don't know, it's just so crazy because there's like different parenting styles. Which one's better, which one's worse? You think you're perfect, really things aren't perfect. You think this. And so there's that. There's also the battle of kind of like right and wrong with, I guess the parenting was right and wrong too, but I guess right and wrong is like the battle but there's like a bunch of different things about that. Even the way you do things, like, I don't know, but I don't want to give too much away, but there's a big twist in the show as well that stirs things up even more. And yeah, I don't know, this show was just really good. I really enjoyed this show. Like, I wish it was more than one season. I don't know if there's gonna be another season or not. The way it ended, it seemed fine, but you never know. And I would be here for it if there was another season. But yeah, like I said, there's also a lot of deceiving going on in this show between the characters and stuff. And there's a lot of things that point to, like, just say maybe different insecurities that people go through, and maybe from like big decisions they had to make, or even just parenting and stuff. Yeah, it's just a really great show. I think the writing was perfect. Like, again, the acting was perfect. But either way though, that's Little Fires Everywhere. It's on Hulu. My number one for the month. I suggest you guys go watch that if you have Hulu, because it's really, really good. I don't think you'll be disappointed in that one. All right, so that's our top 5 TV shows / movies of September. But now let's update our, chart? Or
our counts.
Let's update our counts for our streaming services.
All right, so I had Apple at 2, and it's gonna stay the same. Netflix was at 16. Adding the 2 from today, it's at 18. I have Hulu at 3, and it's gonna continue to stay at 3. And HBO at 2, adding the 3 from today, it's now at 5.
So Apple gained 1 with Ted Lasso. Netflix gained 1 as well with #Alive. Hulu gained 2 actually, finally, because Hulu hasn't had much, I feel like, for me. Added 2 more with Little Fires Everywhere and Woke. And then HBO added 1, which is another good one because that one doesn't have much for me either, with I May Destroy You. But anyways though, that's going to be our list for September. Hopefully you guys haven't seen some of those so you guys can check them out. And if you have seen them, definitely let us know down below your thoughts on any of them. Also, don't forget, you can give your list if you want of the favorite things you've seen throughout the last month. Either way though, we appreciate you guys for watching. I feel like I said that word. We appreciate you guys for watching. But if you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Give this video a big thumbs up. We appreciate that. And yeah, either way, my name's Matt.
My name's Nicole.
And we'll catch you next time.